Lowkey is low-key a menace, whether it's being a complete asshole in the ring or just being such a mark that you see wrestling as a competition and not a work. Lowkey has always been a subject of controversy in the wrestling industry, and you can find countless videos of different wrestlers just roasting and talking shit about this man. Now, normally, I'm not one to hate on a wrestler or anybody for that matter, but this man Lowkey kind of worked my last nerve, and I want to give a huge shout out to Top 10 Wrestling for the video idea. I watched his and was completely in awe at Lowkey's in-ring antics and how he views himself in the business. This man literally thinks he's Hulk Hogan in the 80s, just refusing to lose to certain wrestlers and constantly leaving promotions because he wasn't happy with his booking. Now, in Top 10's video, he gave a whole biography on Lowkey's career. He started off on the indies, brief WWE run in the 90s, then Ring of Honor, TNA, NXT, blah, blah, blah. I'm mainly here to talk about the controversial stuff, but I will say that no matter what, Lowkey is a great wrestler, and that's one thing you can't take away from him, whether you're a fan of his or not. And I will recommend you guys watch this one match he had with Eddie Guerrero in 2001. It's free on YouTube, and I'm not gonna lie, these boys went kind of crazy. But with all that out of the way, let's start off with one of Lowkey's biggest obstacles throughout his career, and that is his own ego. Now, Lowkey strikes me as the kind of guy who searches his own name up on Google and YouTube because he's so marked out over himself, and I'm 95% sure he's gonna find this video, and honestly, I don't give a damn. Lowkey is a stuck-up individual, and even Ray Charles can see that. And I'm not just pulling this out of my ass because this man literally refused to lose to Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli. In the early 2010s, this man was indie god, sorry Matt Cardona, but to refuse to lose a match to a guy like Claudio is just mind-boggling. Who does this bald little shit think he is? This is what Kevin Owens had to say about it via Title Match Wrestling.
I'll always remember him not wanting to lose to Claudio Castagnoli at PWG. And that blew my mind.
Joey Ryan told that story on our shoot.
How could you not lose? Like, you don't want to lose to me, whatever, man. You don't want to lose to Generico, that's one thing. You have a problem losing to a guy like Claudio Castagnoli, who had been the champion for almost a year and is a fucking he's a human horse. Don't want to lose to him. What are you gonna do? But he did. He ended up losing to him, and it was a really good match. So, good.
This isn't the only thing that proves Lowkey to be an egomaniac. He spent most of his time on the independents, but worked for almost every promotion you can think of. WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, PWG, MLW, and he left all of those due to, you guessed it, creative differences. Like, man, he must have wanted to be booked like Goldberg in WCW. What was he smoking? Must have been some good ass shit, Lowkey. I mainly remember this man from his brief ass run in NXT, and since day one, I've always thought he was a dumbass. There was a Power of the Punch challenge on NXT once, and this wannabe MMA fighter literally hit us with a roundhouse kick. And not to mention that time, he brought up TNA in a promo challenge. Like, how hard-headed can you be? Just do your job normally. Jesus Christ. I can't imagine Vince had nice things to say about this man. I'm positive he was roasting him in the back most of the time. Now that we've discussed his ego problem, it's not as bad as this next issue I want to talk about. Granted, Lowkey put in the work. He can jump ship wherever and can be as cocky as he wants, but nothing justifies purposely hurting your opponents. And this is the main reason I wanted to make this video. This man is so fucking lame, it's unbelievable. Let's start with the infamous spinning heel kick incident where he purposely knocked his opponent out. Like, why? This proves nothing. You knocked a guy out in a fixed match. Like I said, dumb ass. And he probably replays this moment and masturbates to it because he's such a fucking mark. He thought this was so cool, otherwise he wouldn't have done it. There was also this instance where he soccer ball kicks Chris Hero right in the face, and this did not look planned at all. To me, it looks like Chris Hero was caught by surprise. No wonder he couldn't find common ground with WWE. He was probably pitching dumbass shit like this. I could go on and on for days about how dangerous this man is, but just go on YouTube and search up Lowkey kick. There are dozens of videos of him kicking the shit out of people like a bitter, failed UFC fighter. Honestly, I just think this man is in the wrong profession, period, because he did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and on that interview, he would give his opinion on current day wrestling and quote-unquote advice to young wrestlers. Just check this shit out.
People say there's a real distinction between WWE wrestling and the rest. Would you say that's pretty fair?
I think it's fair, but you also have to take into consideration it's an entertainment company, and that's the discrepancy between pro wrestling and sports entertainment. Sports entertainment is hiring pro wrestlers to do entertaining things. So that's not pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is competition. Pro wrestling is Karl Gotch. Pro wrestling is Jumbo Tsuruta. Pro wrestling is Shinya Hashimoto, Kenta Kobashi, Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody. This is pro wrestling. What you guys are seeing today is not pro wrestling. Even Ring of Honor, that's not pro wrestling. These are guys of a lower experience level trying to be entertaining. That's not pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is competition. So that's the reason why there's a distinction between legendary pro wrestlers and then entertainers.
What's the advice that you give to these up-and-coming wrestlers?
Learn how to compete. Most of them don't know how to because they're getting in the ring thinking that, oh, this is what I see on Monday nights. Okay, then what happens when you run into somebody who has a background, a competitive background? I wrestled Freddie Yehai last night. He's an amateur wrestler. That's a strong boy. He has that farm strength. Yeah. And I felt it. And I know the difference because I've trained with a lot of different people. I've trained with Olympians. I've trained with FBI agents. I've trained with military and law enforcement. I've trained with a whole bunch of different people. So to have that reference, that frame of reference of difference in control and power, and Freddie's a strong boy. What happens if you're inexperienced, but you want to posture and show everybody who you are and then run into somebody like Freddie who can control you?
So yeah, this guy literally believes wrestling is a competition, because not once did I hear protect your opponent, be safe in the ring. Nah, let's get ready to compete, guys. Like, what is a competition about this? The goal is to go in the ring, protect your opponent, and make sure he leaves in the same condition he came out in. Not get ready to fucking compete. It's a worked match. There is absolutely nothing to be competing about. If you want to compete so bad, I'm not too sure why this man didn't just pursue a career in martial arts. That's competition, not pro wrestling, you mark. I can't believe there's an actual wrestler who's a bigger mark than the fans themselves. Like, holy shit, Lowkey is not Lowkey a menace. He is a confirmed menace 100%. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I know it's a shorter and different video, but I had to talk about this man and spread his gospel, because I'm sure there's a few of you that didn't know too much about him. He's a great wrestler. I won't knock him on that, but I don't even have to personally know him to know that he's a pain in the ass. If you want to hear more about Lowkey, I recommend you go on YouTube and search up Shoots on Lowkey. There are a ton of wrestlers with different opinions on this guy, but I'm curious to know what you think about him in the comments down below. Are you a fan of him, and why? Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed this one, kind of at the expense of Lowkey. But nah, man, I had to shed light on the situation because I had never seen a wrestler with these kinds of values and morals. But maybe I'm just a pussy and Lowkey's just old school, but I don't know. Some of the stuff he said is still outrageous. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe to stay tuned in to the new uploads, and I'm out of here. Peace.
He needs to prove that he can, like, hang with the top dogs here.
He needs to have a bigger-than-life personality.
He takes himself way too seriously.